being a trade war again type of things hitting the market. That's just not it. And obviously Boeing's down 3.5% here. We're going to cover all this at 1 o'clock in our accelerated retirement brief, along with our recent JP Morgan positions, and have a pretty good looking MGM bull put spread that is on, like the 33, 32.5, and MGM's up here at 30, 35.5. So we're going to cover all this at 1 o'clock. Make sure you log in if you're an accelerated retirement member. But this is the bigger issue. So yesterday, if you haven't been following this, Putin's Putin, folks. He's a former KGB colonel. He's that dude in a Bond movie, folks. A couple, I think they're British citizens, right? Retired KGB double agent for MI6 and the KGB got poisoned with, what was it, polonium. I think the Soviet Union's the only country in the world that uses that to poison and kill people. And the other day, Theresa May gave him an ultimatum. Hey, man, you need to be held to account for this and explain. He said, hey, don't threaten a nuclear power. Putin fired back. And then today, the UK is expelling 23 diplomats and doing a bunch of other stuff, man. This is cold. This is the stuff that'll rattle markets. It's a potential new Cold War. Hey, don't threaten a nuclear power after we killed, a couple years ago, they killed that one spy, was it, he was having tea in a hotel or something, and polonium got into his. It's a horrific death, too, man. So this ain't this ain't calming to markets here, folks. And then also over, go to the other rising bear is China. Hey, I'm going to be president for life. So we got Putin, whose election next month obviously is going to be a landslide. So we got Putin president for life. We got President Xi president life, and that's just that ain't good for markets. Obviously, yesterday the markets were a little rattled by the markets were rattled. Anybody who's got a brain wasn't. That we've been talking about this for months. That Rex Tillerson. How many times did you see in an interview in the past year, like, "Hey, are you still going to be here, dude?" He's like, "I'm here today and I'm working hard." Everybody knew this guy was going. That he and Trump didn't get along. He thinks the Iran deal's peachy, and Trump, like me and every other normal American, knows that we got shafted in the Iran deal and it's not worth the paper we're written on. So here's of course the story that's not going to be covered in the liberal media is the fact that the first woman in our nation's history was appointed to be the CIA director. So if Donald Trump's a misogynist, he's a pretty bad one, along with being a pretty bad racist. He really sucks at both of those things, if that's what he is. But Mike Pompeo, who is currently at CIA, is going over there, and I think that's a great thing. This is comical. So again, the liberal media is trying to spin this congressional race in Pennsylvania as some sort of blue wave, and obviously that's why they're Fox News. This guy, Connor Lamb, former Marine, he is a Trump Democrat. He can't stand Nancy Pelosi. He supports the tax cuts. He sounded more Republican than the Republicans, Saccone or whatever the hell the guy's name is. I'm not kidding. This former Marine, obviously military guy, sounded more Republican than the Republican, and he won. And note to idiot liberals. This is the old district. It is that this seat is only going to be there for 8 months, and then it goes away. So here comes the blue wave. You're wrong, folks, and it's comical to watch this. So obviously the markets right now, like we woke up a week and a half ago, that Donald Trump, the Putin day, the Powell day, and the Trump day. So apparently the U.S. stocks just woke up and said, oh, my God, we might have renewed trade worries. I got to tell you, folks, the people I'm talking to, it's a little bit more strategic than that. We know that Donald Trump is doing this. He told us he was going to do that. He brought in some steel workers and signed some stuff to do this, and now the market's going down on potentially this. That's wrong, folks. A little bit of soft data here, which is actually pretty good for the market. Goldman and the Atlanta Fed slashed their Q1 GDP forecast below 2%. Well, that's not good, Wiz. Well, that's good, folks, in the sense that Jerome Powell at the Fed might look at soft macroeconomic data and go, maybe I don't have to raise interest rates 4 times this year, which should be bullish for the market. Remember? And I'll teach you all the stuff. Tactically, we're going to talk about Win at 1 o'clock and a couple other issues. Love this article in the Journal today, Amazon, the making of a giant. This is the Death Star, and obviously this is where you want to be. But we're going through these convulsions, folks, that I predicted. This 50-day moving average on the S&P 500 is a magnet. And we're going to go, I said we're going to chop for the near future through this 50-day. Anybody see what the market's doing? And 2 days ago, in our Monday in the timing research, I was hoping the timing research brief on Monday. What did I say would happen? I said we are going to get pulled back to the 50-day moving average. Cut, print. That's exactly what I said, word for word. I said we're going to head back to the 50-day moving average. Who cares? And then net, once Q1 earnings start rolling off the flight deck here, the market's going to say rally back on. So our weekly options trade, tech's holding up fine today, folks. It's a little bit of a flight to safety. Our Amazon, look at Amazon's almost up 1% today, $12. So we have a bull put spread, a weekly options bull put spread that is looking fine. And that's flying downrange just perfectly. But take a look at the VIX. If this really was a whole, oh my God, we're all going to die, here was the, oh my God, we're all going to die moment. No, we're not. We might. Yeah, we might. No, we're not. Anybody see a trend here? Even a political science Navy fighter pilot like me can see a trend here. Volatility is increasing, and I mean, not a bad time to hedge. I mean, when vol's cheap, you buy it. When it's expensive, you sell it. So maybe with vol getting down here, it might actually be time to get long vol. We are still going to have more of these convulsions. But net, look at the. Can anybody? Like I said, all my political science major buddies out there, can anybody see a trend in that market? I know it's violent, and we predicted this. I said we're going to have net, we're going to be up this year. It's going to be a great year, but what? It's going to be volatile. We're going to be going through some convulsions. The economics are still strong, even if we're low in our GDP a little bit. Jobs, man, the jobs report last Friday it obliterated the numbers. I haven't seen a beat like that. I can't remember the last beat like that. It was a beat of about 100,000 jobs. So things are good. Things are okay. It's just a little choppy. And if you're not enjoying the chop, sit on the sideline. I predicted the chop. The Dow's actually off the lows of the day, was off 250, 260. We're only down 225 right now. So again, this is a BTFD. This is a buy the frigging dip moment. Okay, it's 12:42. I got to get going. I have accelerated retirement at 1 o'clock today. So have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. And I'll be back with Thursday's market SITREP tomorrow.